Hey guys, have you watched the movie The Lion King with your family? There are some nasty hyenas in that movie. You are sure that those hyenas are not bad, but now let's find out some interesting facts about them that you didn't know. Well, let's get into the topic. Hyenas are feliform carnivorous mammals of the family Hyenidae. With only 4 extant species, it is the 5th smallest family in the carnivora and one of the smallest in the class Mammalia. Despite their low diversity, hyenas are unique and vital of most ecosystems. Although closely related to felines and vivarids in the suborder Feliformia, hyenas are behaviorally and morphologically similar to canids in many elements due to developmental evolution. Hyenas and canines are cursorial hunters that grab prey with teeth rather than with 2 claws. Both eat food quickly and store it. Their feet, with large, blunt, non-retractable claws, are suitable for running and making sharp turns. However, hyenas' grooming, scent markings, defecation habits, mating and parental behavior are consistent with those of other feliforms. Hyenas emerged in the forests of Eurasia in the Miocene about 22 million years ago, when most early feliform species were still arboreal. The first ancestral hyenas resemble the modern African civet. Pleiovivarops was a live, civet-like animal that lived in Eurasia 22 million years ago and was one of the earliest hyena species. It is recognized as a hyenid by the structure of the middle ear and teeth. Pleiovivarops evolved into a lineage with descendants with longer legs and more pointed jaws. Hyenas are divided into 2 distinct types, dog-like hyenas and rigid bone-crushing hyenas. Hyenas, like dogs, flourished in North America about 15 million years ago. Along with climate change, they became extinct with the arrival of canids into Eurasia. Aardwolves are the only insect-eating species in the canine hyena lineage. Bone-crushing hyenas evolved into the spotted, brown and striped hyenas, the undisputed top scavengers in Eurasia and Africa. Most modern hyena species are specialized bone crushers. These dog-like hyenas are wolves with agile bodies. The bone-crushing hyenas survived the changes in climate and the arrival of canids, which wiped out the dog-like hyenas, though they never crossed into North America. By 5 million years ago, the bone-crushing hyenas had become the dominant scavengers of Eurasia, primarily feeding on large herbivore carcasses felled by saber-toothed cats. One genus, Pachycracuta, was a 200 kg mega scavenger that could splinter the bones of elephants. With the decline of large herbivores by the late Ice Age, Pachycracuta was replaced by the smaller Crocuta. The 4 extant species are the striped hyena called as hyena, the brown hyena called as Parahyena brunea, the spotted hyena called as Crocuta, and the aardwolf called as Protolus cristata. The aardwolf traces its lineage directly to Pleiovivarops 15 million years ago and is the only surviving member of the canine hyena lineage. Its success is partly due to its insectivorous diet. These face no competition from canids crossing over from North America. Its unparalleled ability to digest terpene secretions from soldier termites is a modification of the robust digestive system of its ancestors, which consumed fetid carrion. The striped hyena may have evolved from Hyaenidae namaquensis of Pliocene Africa. The striped hyena occurred for some time in Europe during the Pleistocene, having been particularly widespread in France and Germany. It also occurred in Montmorin, Hollabrunn in Austria, the Fernina Cave in Portugal and the Genestic Caves in Gibraltar. The European form was similar in appearance to modern populations, but was larger, being comparable in size to the brown hyena. The spotted hyena diverged from the striped and brown hyena 10 million years ago. Its direct ancestor was the Indian Crocuta schivalensis, which lived during the Villafranchian. Ancestral spotted hyenas probably developed social behaviors in response to increased pressure from rivals on carcasses, thus forcing them to operate in teams. Spotted hyenas evolved sharp carnassials behind their crushing premolars, therefore they did not need to wait for their prey to die, and thus became pack hunters as well as scavengers. They began forming increasingly larger territories, necessitated by the fact that their prey was often migratory, and long chases in a small territory would have caused them to encroach into another clan's turf. Spotted hyenas spread from their original homeland during the Middle Pleistocene, and quickly colonized a very wide area from Europe to southern Africa and China. With the decline of grasslands 12,500 years ago, Europe experienced a massive loss of lowland habitats favored by spotted hyenas, and a corresponding increase in mixed woodlands. Spotted hyenas, under these circumstances, would have been outcompeted by wolves and humans, who were as much at home in forests as in open lands, and in highlands as in lowlands. Spotted hyena populations began to shrink after roughly 20,000 years ago, completely disappearing from Western Europe between 11 to 14,000 years ago, and earlier in some areas. Aardwolves, brown, and striped hyenas have lined coats. The spotted hyena is sports-dotted pelage. Like dogs, their short claws are non-retractable. but they have more ribs than canids and rough tongues similar to felines. Male individuals in the aardwolf, striped, and spotted hyena species are usually larger than their female counterparts. In the spotted hyenas, the women are bigger. They dominate the males and even have external genitalia. The aardwolf is about 22 to 31 inches long, excluding its bushy tail, which is about 8 to 12 inches long, and stands about 16 to 20 inches tall at the shoulders. Brown hyenas are long shaggy dark brown coat, pointed ears, and short tail. Their legs are striped brown and white, and adults have a distinct cream-colored fur ruff around their necks. Erectile hairs up to 12 inches in length cover the neck and back and bristles during agonistic behavior. Body length is 57 inches on average with a range of 51 to 63 inches. Shoulder height is 28 to 31 inches and the tail is 9 to 14 inches long. The larger spotted hyena, there are no sizable differences between the sexes. An average adult male weighs 40 to 44 kilograms, while an average female weighs 38 to 41 kilograms. Brown hyenas have powerful jaws. The striped hyena has a fairly massive, but short torso set on long legs. The hind legs are significantly shorter than the forelimbs, thus causing the back to slope downwards. The legs are relatively thin and weak, with the forelegs being bent at the carpal region. The neck is thick, long and largely immobile, while the head is heavy and massive with a shortened facial region. The eyes are small, while the sharply pointed ears are very large, broad and set high on the head. The striped hyena has bulky pads on its paws, as well as blunt but powerful claws. The tail is short and the terminal hairs do not descend below the Achilles tendon. The female striped hyena's genitalia are transiently masculinized, although it lacks the enlarged clitoris and false scrotal sac noted in the female genitalia of the spotted hyena. The female has 3 pairs of nipples. Adult weight can range from 22 to 55 kilograms, averaging at about 35 kilograms. Body length can range from 33 to 51 inches, not counting a tail of 9 to 16 inches, and shoulder height is between 24 to 31 inches. The male has a large pouch of naked skin located at the anal opening. The spotted hyena is the largest extant member of the Hyaenidae. Adults measure 37 to 65 inches in body length, and have a shoulder height of 28 to 36 inches. Adult male spotted hyenas in the Serengeti weigh 40 to 55 kilograms, while females weigh 44 to 64 kilograms. Spotted hyenas males weighing on average 67 kilograms, and females 70 kilograms. Like house cats, these animals are avid groomers that also mark territory, but they use anal glands instead of urination. They're primarily a nocturnal species, though spotted hyenas occasionally venture out during the day, especially if humans aren't poking around. The striped variety typically lives alone or in pairs, though some populations travel in packs up to 7 deep. Spotted hyenas are the exception. Exceptionally sociable, they live in highly organized communities of up to 80 individuals. Matriarchal and monarchical by nature, females of the species dominate. Plus, when a pack leader dies, her oldest daughter automatically takes over. Mostly they burrow in caves and under crevices. Striped hyenas also dig dens. The animals vocalize loudly and frequently. However, not all species laugh, as is often assumed. In fact, spotted hyenas are the only extant species known for laughing. Notably, they use about a dozen distinct grunts, laughs, and barks to communicate with their clan members about food and migration efficiently. These animals live throughout Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. Aardwolves roam in southern and eastern Africa, whereas brown hyenas stick to South Africa, Namibia, and Botswana, with some overflow into Angola, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. The spotted varieties range as Central, Western, and Southern Africa, though very few live in South Africa. Striped hyenas cover northern Africa, the Middle East, and large swaths of India. Aardwolves live in bushlands and heavily grazed arid plains where termites, an essential part of their diet, are plentiful. Typically, aardwolves stay in the same place for about 6 weeks and cluster their dens together. Deserts and coastal lands are where you'll find the brown variety, whereas spotted populations favor woodlands, savannas, semi-deserts, and hilly forests below 4,000 meters. Striped hyenas prefer dry woodlands in mountainous regions, savannas, and dense grasslands. Typically, they make dens in rocky outcrops, ravines, and crevices. These animals are primarily scavengers, but they also kill prey. As carnivores, they mostly consume meat but have been known to supplement their diets with fruit in tough times. They are also members of the Clean Plate Club, meaning they eat every last bit of a kill, including bones and hooves. Plus, they aren't particularly picky about what type of meat they eat. These animals have digestive systems made of steel. Aardwolves' primary source of nourishment is termites from the genus Trinervitermes. Using sound and scent clues, aardwolves locate the crawlers and lick them off the ground using their sticky tongues. In a single night, an individual aardwolf may consume upwards of 3 lakh insects. Conscious of their constant need for sustenance, aardwolves never eat an entire pile of termites. Instead, they leave it partly intact, and the mound serves as a replenishing source. The aardwolf diet differs from other hyena species because it doesn't include any carrion, which is the meat of an already killed animal. Instead, aardwolves stick to insects and larvae. The brown hyenas aren't great hunters. As such, they rely on carcasses killed by other predators. They also supplement their meals with rodents, insects, eggs, fruit, and fungi. Spotted hyenas, arguably the most aggressive Hyaenidae species, differ from their cousins because they primarily hunt prey instead of sticking to carrion. Except for spotted populations in West Africa, who largely scavenge for meat, the species preys on large, hooved, plant-eating animals, including, but not limited to, wildebeests, giraffes, gazelles, impalas, gemsboks, sheep, goats, and cattle. They've also been known to catch fish, and, on rare occasions, humans. These animals have huge appetites. A single individual can pack away up to 15 kilograms of meat in a single feeding. The striped hyenas are scavengers who eat almost any meat, though they turn their noses up at vulture flesh. They also feast liberally on bones and bone marrow. Lions are these animals' primary foe, even though the former usually don't eat the latter. But lions see them as fellow apex predators and will kill them to reduce competition. Similarly, in the Middle East, striped hyenas compete with wolves for food. But at times, the two animals cooperate and travel in joint species hunting packs. Leopards also prey on these animals in certain regions. According to conservationists, aardwolf and spotted hyenas currently enjoy stable wild populations and don't face imminent extinction. Striped and brown varieties aren't as fortunate because humans are increasingly encroaching on their natural habitats and killing them at alarming rates using traps, poison, and wire snares. Farmers often eliminate brown hyenas in retaliation for livestock deaths. In reality, though, they don't kill prey, they only scavenge for dead animals, which sometimes includes already deceased livestock. Spotted, brown, and aardwolf hyenas copulate with several partners in a lifetime. Striped hyenas, on the other hand, are monogamous, meaning they mate with the same partner for most of their lives. For the spotted variety, mating is an awkward and tricky process since both the male and female have genitalia on the outside of their bodies. The male has to position himself just right in order to successfully mate with the female. This process often is described as a dance because of all the jumping around he has to do. Aardwolf hyenas are mating in spring or autumn depending on location, but in South Africa July is the ideal time. Their gestation period is 89 to 92 days. Litter sizes range from 2 to 5 cubs, but the parents are responsible for raising 2 cubs. Brown hyenas have a mating season from May to August, but occasionally varies with season. Their gestation period is 90 days. Litter sizes range from 1 to 5 cubs. Both parents are responsible for raising the young, but the males help provide food for cubs. Spotted hyenas have a mating season throughout the year, but prefer the wet season. Their gestation period is 110 days. Litter sizes range from 2 cubs only. Only the mother hyena is responsible for raising the cubs. Male hyenas don't help. Striped hyenas have a mating season is either January and February or October and November depending on location. Their gestation period is 90 to 91 days. Litter sizes range from 1 to 6 cubs only. Both parents are responsible for raising the cubs. Aardwolves, the cubs of brown and striped hyenas, are born with their eyes closed and need help from an adult, whereas spotted hyenas are born fully developed, with their eyes and teeth open. These animals usually live for about 12 years, but they can live up to 25 years. Brown hyenas, however, typically have shorter lives. Hyenas have one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom. The spotted hyena has a bite force of 1100 psi, which is slightly below a polar bear's bite force of 1200 psi. Hyenas have a bite force that's greater than lions. Generally, hyenas are known to drive off larger predators, like lions, from their kills, despite having a reputation in popular culture for being cowardly. Hyenas are primarily nocturnal animals, but sometimes venture from their lairs in the early morning hours. With the exception of the highly social spotted hyena, hyenas are generally not gregarious animals, though they may live in family groups and congregate at kills. Spotted hyenas are one of the few mammals other than bats known to survive infection with rabies virus and have showed little induced mortality during outbreaks in sympatric carnivores. Despite this perceived unique disease resistance, little is known about the immune system of spotted hyenas, and even less is known about other Hyaenidae species. They defecate in the same manner as other carnivora, though they never raise their legs as canids do when urinating, as urination serves no territorial function for them. Instead, hyenas mark their territories using their anal glands, a trait found also in viverids and mustelids, but not canids and felids. When attacked by lions or dogs, striped and brown hyenas will feign death, though the spotted hyena will defend itself ferociously. The spotted hyena is very vocal, producing a number of different sounds consisting of whoops, grunts, groans, lows, giggles, yells, growls, laughs and whines. The striped hyena is comparatively silent, its vocalizations being limited to a chattering laugh and howling. Hyenas readily scavenge for human corpses. Hyenas habituated to scavenging on human corpses may develop bold behaviors towards living people. Hyena attacks on people in southern Sudan increased. September is when people sleep outdoors and bush fires make hunting difficult for hyenas. According to a 2004 news report, 35 people were killed by spotted hyenas in a 12-month period along a 20-kilometer road in Mozambique near the Tanzanian border. In Tanzania, it is believed that witches use spotted hyenas as mounts. There is a belief in the Mtwara region of Tanzania that when a child is born at night, a hyena cries and grows up to be a thief. Hyenas are used for food and medicinal purposes in Somalia. This practice dates back to the times of the ancient Greeks and Romans, who believed that different parts of the hyena's body were effective means to ward off evil and to ensure love and fertility. Finally, the hyena has a source of fear, and it's a nocturnal hunter and ruthless scavenger. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like the video and share this video with your friends. Please hit the bell button and get notification from channel.